morning, Business Owners Lounge. Good
Hi.
morning to you all. It's Victoria here, and I'm joined by this one,
Claire, hello.
Claire Payne. So, as you'll see by the title of this video, today we want to tell you about the real sorry truth on social media at the moment. So, listen, don't stop what you're doing with social media. It's really important that you carry on if you're using it as a business tool, absolutely. But there are some realities that you really need to understand, and we want to talk to you about them.
Talk to you about them now.
Today.
I'm actually going to record this, so I did forget to press record.
I think Ebony's doing that, so
Oh,
we're all
Ebony's
good.
good. That's good. Brilliant.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about social media, because there are a number of things that, as business owners, you will be getting wrong, you need to be aware of, and as a result, hello Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Nice to see you. And as a result, you will get much better results for it. It's Pam.
It's Pam.
Hi Pam. So where should we start, Claire? Let's talk first of all about...
Why don't we talk about our experience in the last couple of weeks?
Go for it.
Okay, so I put a message out on social media this week because we've been trolled. Yes, I know. We've been trolled on our Facebook ad. And this has never happened to us before. Now, when I say trolled, there are different levels of trolls.
I mean, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but essentially we've had a couple of not very nice people, well, they're probably very nice, they're just a bit disgruntled, that have felt it necessary to comment not very nice things on our Facebook ad. And, you know, it can be really, really hurtful as a business when your intentions are good. And when you put a lot of energy and time and money into advertising and generating business, especially when these people, you don't know them, and it's quite a hurtful thing. But you have to be quite resilient anyway in business, as you know. However, we've been analysing and talking about why perhaps all of a sudden we've started to receive some negative comments on some of our advertising. Is it the copy? I'm pretty confident the copy's okay. There might be one thing at the very top where
You're not bad at writing, are you?
I'm not bad at
not
writing.
Bad.
So there might be one thing at the top that I would change, but I don't necessarily think that is the reason. But there is, for me, I think a much bigger reason, something that's happened in the social media world that's had quite a, it's been quite topical. And actually, I think now we're starting to see exactly what the repercussions of this are. And that is the recent Apple update. So, Vic, do you want to explain what that Apple update is?
I'm going to have a go. I'm going to have a go at explaining it. So, I'm a very visual person. It's a shame I don't actually have something to actually draw on.
Well, you
So
could.
it'll make it easier.
Why don't I take you over to the board?
Well, listen, I'll just use Eb's pad there and a pen that she's passing to me. We've got our lovely Ebony here. Thank you very much.
It's only day 3, so we won't chuck her in front of the camera.
No, we won't do that yet. So essentially, I hope you can see this, but imagine that you have got, let's put you. So this is your world. This is you on social media. Now, when you go onto your phone, and I'm going to explain this in the most basic way I can, and it's not going to be absolutely technically accurate, but it's the best way I can explain it to you. So you're in the middle here, you. And on your phone, you're going to have loads of different apps. So you've got different apps that you're going onto different websites. You're clicking on things. What else are they doing?
You're leaving comments.
You're reviewing.
Things.
You're commenting. You've got different friends that you're communicating with. There's all of this stuff, and I'm not going to put them all on, but
following.
There's all this stuff going on your phone, and you're in the middle of it. Okay, so that's your online world. And what Facebook, etc., have been able to do previously is they've been able to go, I'm going to watch all of these things and see what this person is actually doing. It learns what you like, what you buy, who you're associated with, everything about you, which is really cool and not so great in another way. So it's really cool because it means that when you are in Facebook, everything that comes into your news feed is bang on. You'll be interested in it. By and large, it'll be stuff that you'd be interested in because they're making your journey in Facebook highly personalised.
Now, if I can just interject a moment, there was a few years ago, Facebook actually really came under a lot of fire because they were seen as very spammy in terms of the content that they were serving up on the newsfeed of individuals. And so they came under a lot of criticism, and they decided to go back to their grassroots of actually making it a very social place and being very specific about the content that they were sharing with you, deprioritising business and media, which is why lots of businesses like ours saw our organic reach drop off at the edge of a cliff. But coming back to what you were saying here,
Yes.
the shift is almost, I think, reverting a little bit back, and it's
Honestly,
not necessarily
so
down to Facebook.
This is big. So here we have all of this stuff going on, and Facebook are looking at your entire experience online, and they're making judgments on what they should put in front of you. Now, what happened was the iOS 14.5 update came along, and it's given individuals sitting in the middle here the opportunity to not allow Facebook to access this
We
information.
should say this is for Apple users.
Yep.
This is for iPhone users
So-
primarily.
When you go into your phone and you go into different apps, or if you go into Facebook now, it gives you a notification to say, would you basically like us to be able to access your data? So it's a new little pop-up that comes
A
up.
bit like GDPR.
Absolutely. And what if you say no, it can't, then basically you wipe out Facebook's ability to look at a lot of your data. So what that does is it relies on things that you do inside the app, like the clicks and some of your behaviours. Not everything, it won't be able to look at everything, but it wipes out Facebook's ability to look at your entire journey. So it's almost working with half the story.
Very basic demographic stuff.
It's making assumptions. So for that reason, you find that now your online journey within Facebook, it is much reduced in terms of putting stuff in front of you that's highly relevant. So this is what's happened with the iOS 14.5 update. Now, coming back to what we were talking about with our experience on Facebook advertising, how does that link in, Claire?
Okay, so take the copy aside for a moment. Let's think about what's actually happening. So when we ran our recent Facebook ad, we ran something called a lookalike audience ad. So we have got data in our database, which we have put into Facebook. And if those individuals in that database are in Facebook, historically, what it's been able to do is find more people just like them so that our adverts can be served to more people who fit our ideal customer profile and perhaps might be interested in our services. However, Facebook can't actually do that anymore. And they cannot see as much information about the lookalike audience as they have previously. They're not allowed to serve ads to the same numbers of people and the same types of people if those people have, since we last advertised, opted out. And therefore, what that's done is now Facebook is making assumptions on who to serve our adverts to. And because we are in working with small businesses, actually there is a lot of generic data about individuals, because let's face it, as business owners, especially if you're working on your own, you will use social media personally and for your business. And so what's also happening outside of Facebook picking up anything that might be business related, that might be relevant, it's also serving our ads to people who perhaps have an interest in entertainment, or perhaps have an interest in the movies, or perhaps have an interest in health and beauty, not necessarily people that are in the market to work with us. And this is going to cause a problem for lots of businesses just like ours. It's meaning that we have to rethink how we position our adverts, and perhaps we've got to think about how we can be a lot more specific. So we are questioning at the moment whether or not lookalike audiences are the best way for us to go. Now, if you're in the health and beauty sector, for example, and you have a database of women over 40, let's say, for example, who are interested in health and beauty, well, for you to upload your database into Facebook and create a lookalike audience, the likelihood of you actually reaching your target audience is going to be probably a lot greater. But if you, as I say, if you're more generic in terms of what you do, or the profile of the individual that you're trying to target, it's going to be hard for you to use lookalike audiences. That's my assumptions based on the analysis
Absolutely.
so far.
So what we believe is our Facebook advertising has been impacted by the iOS 14.5 update, and you may find the same too. So that doesn't mean you shouldn't advertise. It means that proceed with caution. And if you are thinking of advertising and you're not really quite sure what to do, then by all means reach out to us and ask us for some advice. We're more than happy to do that for you. Now, so that's the impact on the advertising world, and it's not only for advertisers. There's still lots of different things to consider with social media, even if you're not using the advertising platform itself. Just when you are organically posting, there's lots of things to consider. Now, let's have a little chat about a few of them. Number one, we've talked about how organic reach is difficult for businesses. And the truth of the matter is, if you have, say, 100 people that follow your page, or 1,000 or 5,000 or whatever it might be, by and large, only around 2% or less actually see your content. Why? Well, there are many reasons for that. First and foremost, there's a lot of traffic going through the social media platforms right now. Whether it's Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever it might be, there's a lot of traffic going through those platforms right now.
The whole world is online,
yeah,
aren't they?
The whole world. Even more so since, lockdown and COVID. So, for that reason, with only 2 or less % seeing your stuff, we have to be way more mindful about the type of content that we post. Because what the platforms are doing, they're looking at those posts that have more comments, more, not likes, but more interactions that are loves, or some of the other little icons that you get. If you like it, it's not as great as if you've had a different
the
emoji reaction. Thank you. Or shares. So comments, loves, and other emojis and shares, they are the things that expand the reach of a post. And if your content is not hitting the mark and it's not getting those things, then you are not going to get seen by a higher proportion of your audience. So one of the things that I would advise you to do is make sure that your posts are good enough for getting that engagement. Now, if you're not sure how to do that, stay with us, because at the end, we're going to tell you what to do about it. So that's number one. The second thing that I want to bring up to you is, there's loads, Claire, isn't there?
Oh gosh, we could talk about social media all day and still not get through it.
We'll come on to video in a moment, but one of the things that I want to make you really aware of is the fact that with social media, it has to be your lights on marketing activity. It's not the thing that is going to drive loads and loads of leads into your business. Yes, it will for certain types of businesses, but by and large, if you're in a B2B world, if you've got products that people can just buy quickly and it's quite, a quick decision, you'll do great.
Yeah, high ticket, not so much.
Anything high ticket, you're not going to get loads of traction with it. So it has to be there for lights on, so people get to know you, like you, and trust you. But that is what it does. And there is so much more outside of social media that you need to be doing to make sure that you're generating leads and sales. So yes, your content needs to be great. Yes, you need to be doing it. Yes, you need to be out there. You need to be generating eyes on your business. But that is literally keeping your lights on. And it's almost like, having an empty house with lights on. Yeah. The next thing you've got to do is make sure everything else is functioning well as well.
And let's be real as well. Some businesses are much easier to market and talk about than other businesses. And also, your skill set in social media and ability to write content and ability to be very visual, it might not be at the same level as somebody who you perceive as doing better than you, which is why all of the other things that support your marketing are so important. And it's a learned skill. You have to practice it, you have to get good at it, and you have to understand what works and what doesn't work in your market, and that takes time. So you've got to be patient with it.
So in a nutshell, what I want to make very clear on that point is, I've said about lights on, that social media is your lights on, but ultimately it means that if you are reliant on only social media and bringing leads and sales into your business, it's not enough. And if that's all you're relying on, then, we need to have a chat so that we can just give you some ideas of the other things that you need to be doing. So if actually right now and you're watching and you're thinking, well, I only do social media, that's what I rely on from marketing, that's not enough, and you're not going to get to your goals if you rely just on that. So know that for a fact, okay? That's not going to get you where you need to go. So
it would be great if it was the truth, though, isn't it? It would be great if you could just use social media. You used to get a lot more.
Used to be amazing, but it's not as easy these days. So by all means, DM me and let's have a chat about what you need to do. I'm very, very happy to give you that information. For us, it's making sure that you are utterly clear on what is and isn't going to work for you. Because it is tough out there in social media at the moment. Unless you're doing the right things and actually utilising other channels in your marketing to bring people in, you're not going to get the results. You'll end this year disappointed, for sure. Claire, let's talk about video.
I did just want to make the point though, Victoria, you know, we know what we're doing we should know what we're doing, shouldn't we? We do know what we're doing. And even we find it tough. You know, there are little hacks and there are things that we employ and there are things that we do, and we have a team. You know, let's be real, we've got a team that support in this area. So, you know, it's but even at times we find it frustrating, don't we?
Well, absolutely. And if you go and watch the beginning of this video, you'll see that we've gone, what's been going on with social media? And we've cracked it this morning and worked out exactly what's going on.
So if you're just joining us, watch the playback when we finish here, because we were talking about why our Facebook ads aren't working anymore.
Yep. So Claire, we talked about the fact that 2% is the issue of only 2% of people actually seeing your content.
If you're lucky.
Mm-hmm. Video.
Oh, this is a good subject. So hi Liz. You're so right, as usual, ladies, and the conversation withdrawn from social media only service. Oh, okay.
Withdrawn my social media only service.
I'm going to just have a little look and see if I can see the rest of this. Can't see the rest of it, Liz. I don't know what's going on.
We'll have a look at that afterwards. But yeah, bang on. Because social media only, it's just not going to get you where you need to go. So Liz, that is a massive deal that you've decided to withdraw your social media only service, because obviously it's a money-making thing. But I love that you're actually being true to your clients and not allowing them to have a service that's not going to do the job for them. So that's amazing.
Yeah. Great stuff, Liz. That's brilliant. And I know that you work with a couple of our clients who really value what you do on that basis. So fantastic.
Don't get me wrong. It's going to keep the light. Like I said, it's going to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
It's going to get people to know you, like you, and trust you. But you're not going to bring people down the funnel.
Yeah. There's no relationship. And so, I'm just, before I answer what you said about video, Victoria.
But it's not a good spend for them, as Liz says. Absolutely, it's not a good spend.
No, absolutely. Before we talk about video, one thing that I just really want to make very, very clear to you. In marketing, we work in funnels. Now, people think funnels have a bad name, but this is just people trying to be clever and find something new to talk about. But we work in funnels.
It'll always be a funnel.
It'll always be a funnel, and I don't care. So when you think about your funnel, at the very top, this is where people get to know who you are. This is the awareness part of your funnel.
Claire in her hands.
I can't help it. Stop it. Put me off. And in the middle part, in a marketing term, I have to do it because I'm not drawing, am I?
You can't draw.
No, I can't draw. That's why I have to use my hands. And in the middle bit, this is where we have interest and desire. So this is where people start to develop more of a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling. And at the bottom, that's the action part. That's where they decide they're going to actually work with you, part with their money, buy something from you. Think about that middle part as relationships. So rather than interest and desire in the marketing term, think of it as relationships. So we have awareness, relationship, action. You cannot get from awareness to action without relationship. And that is why social media will do part of that job for you, but not all of it. That's why you have to do employ other different tactics.
If you're watching and you're one of our clients, you'll know how many interactions it takes for someone to be willing to consider buying from you. So pop that in the chat if you know, but it's way more than you think.
Way more.
What is it?
And actually,
whoever's watching, what is it? We can't see who's watching. It's a shame,
They have to give us a wave and let us know they're watching. So, if you are watching, give us a wave. But
how many interactions does it take for someone to be aware of you? Let's just tell them the answer. It's 7 to 15 interactions, and you can't just get that in social media. You've got to take them outside of the social media environment. After all, social media is land for rent. You don't own it. You don't own the data in it. So you've got to get those people outside of social media.
You've got to control the
conversation. Yeah.
And it's about building a system. And you've got to build a clever system that fits your business uniquely. That's a bit of a shameless plug, but we are in a magazine in July talking about building your unique marketing system.
Actually, yeah.
So keep your eyes peeled. I'll post it in this group once
it's out.
And
the name of the magazine?
It's called Brand You magazine. It's a fantastic magazine. It's actually aimed at female business owners. So, we were delighted to be invited to write for that. And like I say, I will share it in here as soon as it is available. I think you can actually subscribe to get it now. So I'll pop the link in the comments here as well. But it's a fantastic magazine. And of course, we're in it. So July is going to be even better.
Amazing.
But anyway, back to video.
Yeah, let's talk about video. Why is video so important?
Yeah.
So I know some of you will watch this back and say, I do not want to put my face on camera. I'm really uncomfortable about it. Look, this is live. How many little bloopers have we got from this one video? The reality is, just people don't care. When you're in situations like this on social media, it's all about the value you give. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter,
Hi, Georgina.
Hi, Georgina. It doesn't matter. I can't remember what I was going to say.
It doesn't matter what your face looks like. You just got to get over it because this is what you were blessed with. So
just get on there.
Hashtag blessed.
Get on there and create video, because video, it will go further in terms of the algorithms than flat content like images and text. It just does. Why
10 times?
Why?
6 to 10 times more reach. Because as Neil Patel told us, social media wants to crush. I need to scrap then. Crush television. Yes.
Yeah.
So when you think about YouTube and how many, I mean, God, there's well over 2 billion, is it now? 2 billion subscribers? 2 billion? But there's a shed load of people that watch video. People have a much more, we have limited attention spans these days as humans. We consume and we are presented with so much content on a daily basis that video is actually much, much easier to consume.
Yeah.
And actually, we've got a video marketing guide for 2021. So if you want that, then you can have that by all means. Just let me know and I'll get that across to you so that you can read through and understand what's happening and why video marketing is so important if you are doing social media and you are really spending some good quality time in social media, why you need to start bringing that in as a strategy.
So there you have it. I think that we'll stop there for today because we've been rattling on for goodness knows how long. But in short, know this. Social media is impacted by the iOS 14.5 update because basically it means that your newsfeed will no longer be as amazingly tailored to you if you haven't opted into allowing them to access your data. So that's number one. Number two, organic reach is fairly low unless you're putting really amazing content out there. Number three, video is really important for your business. What other things do we talk about?
Number four, awareness, relationship, action.
Relationship. Social media is not the only marketing you should be doing. So if social media is your limit at the moment, you need to have a chat with us and we'll just point you in the right direction. On that note, talking about social media and the importance of amazing content, because if your content's not good enough and it's not known, liked and trusted, if you're not known, liked and trusted and your content is not shared, commented and liked, loved,
So it's a bit weak.
not doing its job, you have to address that. You have to address that if your content is not good enough. So for that reason, we invite you to join us next week, Monday to Thursday, from 12 till 1 each day, 4 days, 4 hours. And in that time, we are going to share our content creation bootcamp strategy with you. So it's the Content Creation Bootcamp. We'll pop a link in here afterwards. And on that bootcamp, you'll learn our 4-part strategy for doing amazing content that gets known, liked, trusted, I've done it again, haven't I? Comments, likes, and shares. And we go through on those 4 days. The first day, we show you how to nail the type of content that will get you traction. Second day, we look at how to get that all down on paper in super smart, quick time. We want to do 90 days worth, and we estimate from my very clever calculations that it saves you about 40 hours of your time. 40 hours!
Boom!
40 hours of time. So you're saving 40 hours of time. I'm going to
that
teach you this special way that we use to make sure that we are creating content super quick. On the third day, we're going to show you how to make sure you pop in the news feed. And on the fourth day, we are going to go through the importance of getting that nailed and scheduled. I'm going to give you a demo of how to do that quickly as well. Because, like
using free tools.
It's all free. It's all free.
Tools.
And the Content Creation Bootcamp is free too. Yes. So just jump on it, and it'll be the best use of 4 hours of your time next week. I promise you that.
We love it, don't we? We love doing this. This is the third time we've done it.
Literally. Can't wait to deliver it again next week. And if you go into Google and you type in All Star Marketing Club, and you'll see that we'll come up in the search engine results. In there, if you look at our Google reviews, go and have a look at the sheer power of that Content Creation Bootcamp. Go and look at everyone's comments on there and what it's done for them and their business. But do join us on that.
We should say as well, to support you through it and to make sure that you do implement over that week, we have a pop-up Facebook group which we are in all week. So
Yeah.
if you've got questions, you want to share stuff, we've got a few challenges, little competitions.
There's
We've
competition.
got it
There's
all going
prizes,
on.
Claire.
There's prizes to be won.
Typical Claire. So there we have it, ladies and gents. Thanks for watching. If you got this far,
Well done, you.
well done.
Pat on the back.
We hope to see you next week. As soon as we've finished here, we'll put the link in. So do grab that link, click on it, fill out the form, come along next week. You will be amazed at how much content you'll get written in super quick time
We do it as well. It's great for us because we get all of our content done as well.
at the same time. So kills two birds with one
You'd be
stone.
really helping us out actually if you came, because it means that we would actually
We'll work harder.
we'll work harder.
All right, take care, everyone. Lovely to spend some time with you. Mwah. See you
Bye.
soon. Bye-bye.